What's going on, everybody? My name is Alex Wilson from Fireside Giants, an Empire Sports Media production. You're listening to the Fireside Giants podcast. If you're a diehard Giants fan, you've come to the right place. Daily episodes, draft content, and so much more, especially as we head toward the NFL draft coming in about 2 months now. So much to get through, a lot of different interviews and players making some really good impressions at the NFL Combine this week. One of them being North Dakota State University wide receiver Christian Watson. Now, some people have mentioned Christian Watson to me in recent days and kind of told me to look his way and take a look at his physical abilities, his tangible traits, and what he's capable of doing. The guy's 6'4", 208 pounds, so he's a tall guy. He's a pretty good frame, and he kicked some serious ass at the combine this week. He ran a 4.36 40-yard dash that originally clocked in at 4.28. I think they adjusted officially to 4.36, which is still tremendous. He had a 38.5-inch vertical and 11 foot 4-inch broad jump. The guy is an absolute physical specimen. Now, what is he capable of doing at the next level? That is yet to be seen. But the type of receiver that he is, he's not the most physical guy, but the guy has absolute freaking wheels. He can turn on the jets and take off. And that's the type of receiver the Giants could really use. Good hands. He's not under physical. He can really go up and make some nice catches in 50-50. He has a really nice release package. His hands are really good. There's a couple of clips I want to show you today in the film here that really show what he's capable of doing in terms of route running as a blocker in the run game, good release packages, getting open in man coverage. He does a lot of really good things, and I think that he kind of boosted his stock tremendously in the NFL at the Combine this week. Maybe some people are looking at him as a mid-second round, late second round kind of player. There's a lot of wide receivers in this draft class. Some of them will undoubtedly fall. If the Giants are lucky, maybe they end up being able to steal Christian Watson in the beginning of the third round. And what a player he would be at the next level for a team like the Giants. He kind of gives me flashes of Darius Slayton, but he's so much more athletic, better hands, and his upside is so much higher. Now, he's coming from a smaller school, obviously, from North Dakota, which happens to just generate quarterback prospects. They're tremendous at building these guys up. And, having a wide receiver come out of there is also a really good sign. So it's exciting to look at Christian Watson. A lot of people really like him. We talked about Sky Moore a couple of weeks ago. He's another player I really like out of Western Michigan. He's smaller, a little bit more gadget style, but he is undoubtedly a really talented player in this draft class and could also be a third round selection. But he's really good in motion, can do a lot of things. Watson's a lot different. He's a speed guy. He's bigger. He's faster. Like, he just does a lot of things better as a receiver, but he's not going to do all the things that Sky Moore can do out of the slot and whatnot. He's more of a boundary outside kind of guy, but you can use him in different ways, and I do like his versatility. So nonetheless, let's take a look at Christian Watson's film. I'm really excited to take a look at him. He looks like he could be a really great player at the next level. Okay, so right off the bat, this is a side view of his 40-yard dash. Like I said, 4.36. He ran unbelievable speed. I mean, his get up, his 0 to 60. Look how fast he gets. I mean, he is flying. That kid can run, man. That is a unbelievable speed that you're seeing from Christian Watson right there. He's a big guy. He's not a small guy like a John Ross. He is a big dude, and he is flying. That is impressive. Physical tangibles, his traits are tremendous. This is a guy who's catapulting up boards right now because of those traits. And I think that with him, having coming from a small school, the expectations aren't as high, but I think he can easily kind of smash some expectations out of the water here. Now, man coverage, look what he does to this man's ankles. I love the break. So he does a little jab step here. I like his quickness off the line of scrimmage. It's not jam, it's just on ball coverage. But look, I like what he does at the break of this route, right? He does a nice little head fake here, and he completely throws this cornerback off his feet. Right here, bam, he looks to the left, gives a little jab, and bam, there he goes. And he uses his hands very, very well, too, which is something that you'll see throughout his film. Creates a nice bit of separation there. He easily wins this route. It's nice to see, the release package is also, very versatile, and he has a lot to work with there. But I really like at the break of his route what he does here to create separation. He gives a little head nod to the left here and completely throws his cornerback off, and that's what you want to see. It's something that does translate to the next level. So, and also the speed is just on paper, and it's on the film too. You can see it all over the place. The guy is just a mad dasher. Now, this is something that NFL teams are going to absolutely love, and something that I absolutely love. If you think about receivers like Cooper Kupp, even Devontae Adams, some bigger guys, What are they most known for aside from their receiving abilities? Well, their run blocking abilities. Christian Watson is a good run blocker because he not only can he get the first block off, but he can actually chase down guys and make blocks in the open field. This is one of the best run blocking plays from a receiver you'll probably see in the entire draft class. Let's take a look here. So you'll see him on the right side of your screen, highlighted by the red circle. Watch what he does here. So right off the bat, you'll see the running back's kind of splitting back out. He's kind of jumping back to the right side in this counter. And Christian Watson over here, he's just trying to push his guy, get his guy out of the way, just open up a lane for his running back just in case. But look what he does here. He turns on the absolute afterburners. Watch what he does. And I love this. He cuts in front of the other blockers, which coherently slows them down. It's going to force them to slow down because they don't want to run it. They don't want to trip. So he cuts in front of them. They slow down a little bit because of that. And then he uses his body as a shield. But you don't see guys this fast very often. And look at that block right there. I mean, talk about effort. This is what shows up on the film when you watch Christian Watson. Unbelievable effort. I mean, the speed there is prevalent. It's obvious. I mean, he's using, like we're talking about a skinny receiver. He's 208 pounds. He's not a small guy, but he's 6'4". And he's basically going shoulder to shoulder with this safety, I believe it is. So, that is a tremendous play as a blocker. The effort obviously stands out. That is the difference between a touchdown and not a touchdown, especially in the NFL. We've seen guys get tackled to the 20, 30 before, and maybe a turnover happens on the next play or they miss field goal. This is the difference between winning and losing games. Those little plays, those high effort things that show up, those are the things you want to be looking at. And I think Christian Watson obviously has it. It's really impressive to see. I mean, the speed is so obvious, and look at him go, man. It's really nice to see that. So really great play from Christian Watson as a run blocker. That's something that teams will obviously be looking out. Well, let's see him here. He's kind of in the inside. He's not all the way in the boundary, but look at the speed here. Look what he does to turn this cornerback around, right? So he sees, he wants to get this cornerback to bite inside. He wants him to think, I'm going to hit this 9 route right up the sideline here and just burn you with my speed. But instead, they have the defense here is crashing down. And I love how he turns the cornerback all the way around. He forces that cornerback to commit to the inside because that speed is so dangerous. He has to force that cornerback to make a decision. The cornerback says, you know what? I'm going to just try and squeeze him to the sideline, make this throw a little bit more difficult. But instead, bam, he hits him with this kind of deep post. And I mean, he's gone. I mean, this is just, look at the speed, his strides as well, his unbelievable strides and quick feet, considering how long his strides are. And I mean, he's gone, man. Touchdown easily. Nobody's stopping him. I mean, he even slows down at the end there. That's just unbelievable speed right there. Let's take a look here. This is what I'm saying about hand speed and strength. This is the last little clip we have, I believe. Maybe there's one more. But watch what he does to this in jam coverage. You want to see receivers beat jam coverage. This kind of on-ball jam, right at the line of scrimmage, physical. This is what teams play sometimes in the NFL. A lot of cover one. Wink Martindale's a guy who's going to do a lot more of that in the coming days, in the coming years with the New York Giants defense. But watch what he does here, right? It's a slow release, but he creates so much leverage, and the quarterback just has to basically stare him down to make sure he gets past his guy. But watch this. A big size advantage on the cornerback, obviously. Cornerback tries to jam him. He does a good job at first, but watch the underrated strength of his hands here. He rips him past, and bam, he's gone. I mean, that's a touchdown. If this quarterback nails him right here, easy touchdown. And I think that's a really good testament to his underrated strength and what he's capable of doing from on the line of scrimmage in a jam situation. That is really good route running. This is really good hand usage. He completely takes him off of his hands. I mean, I think he could have probably just kind of head nodded him to the left here and probably just ran around him without the whole hand usage. But it's nice to see that he has this in his repertoire and the strength he has from his hands. This is a player that I really like. I think he's kind of interesting because he's so fast that it doesn't really, I can't really say he's only a boundary receiver. I think he can move into the slot. He can move into the Z. He can play the boundary. He can do a lot of different things, but the speed really shows up. He's not as physical as I'd like, but I don't think he's going to have a hard problem. It's going to have a hard time rather getting open in the NFL, especially in man coverage against zone. I think he has the speed and he has the height and the radius to make plays in the open field, and he has the radius to make difficult catches. He's a player that's come from a smaller school, obviously. How can he get used to an NFL concept? Can he kind of help his quarterback? Can he come back to the football? There's a lot of things left to untap with this kind of player. He's raw from a an NFL standpoint because of the small school, but the tangibles are there. The physicality, the speed, everything is there for him to become a great player at the next level. He's got the Darius Slayton speed. He has the Sterling Shepard hands. He's got that quickness to him too. He's a really great straight line runner. I don't think, you're going to use him in a Kadarius Toney type of role per se, but I will say I think that if you're getting him in those deep posts, if you're getting him on those 9 routes on the outside, being those guys squeezing around the corner there, it's going to be really hard to stop him. So I'd love to see more of him in the future. I'd love to see him go to a team that can really use him properly, especially a downfield kind of dynamic style offense. And, that maybe a spread offense would do really well for him, which I think Brian Dable is going to kind of try to introduce moving forward. So I'm really intrigued by Watson here. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on him in the YouTube channel comments below. As always, really appreciate the support and love. This guy's interesting. If he was there in the beginning of the 3rd round, I think I'd jump on him. I think he'd be a great selection for the New York Giants. But again, stock is rising. Who knows if he'll be there? Probably will be a 2nd round pick, but a deep wide receiver class. There's a lot more guys to take a look at. So I'm excited to take a look at some more receivers in the coming days. Make sure to like and subscribe below on YouTube, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Giants episode.